There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine.
You'd be surprised at the things you find when you go looking.
God, it knows I'm here.
Clear your minds. It knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
Plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated Book of the Dead.
You're gonna die up there.
I've got to return some videotapes.
Hello!
Hello!
I'm Chris,
And I am Joe.
and this is In the Veins, and today we're talking about...
1981's The Howling.
Yeah!
Or at
Old
least
school werewolf.
Old school werewolf.
Sort
Released
of.
April 10th, 1981.
Yeah, it's like earliest...
80s werewolf.
This is transition werewolf. Like, this is...
it?
I mean, from human with fur stuck to their face.
Oh, from
Like-
Wolfman.
Wolf design, like werewolf design, I think this and American Werewolf in London were like the big leaps in werewolf design because
Yeah, I think no. And I think this movie is a formative gap that Werewolf in London maybe not stood on their shoulders, but learned from.
they're deeply connected because Rick Baker started with, he was working on The Howling. Rob Bottin is Bottin or Bottin?
I think
I should really
Bottin,
know
but-
that. It's
Yeah,
Bottin.
I think it's Bond.
Was working for him, and they were working on The Howling, and Rick Baker took American Werewolf in London. and he-
famously. Yeah.
Yeah, he started to realize he was doing the same shit. He was going to work on both, I think, and realized that he was starting to use the same things he wanted to use on one and the other, and it wasn't going to be fair to either movie.
Right.
So he pretty much just said, I'll help support, I'll help make stuff and help you work out problems. And then he went and did American Werewolf in London and left Rob Bottin in charge of The Howling.
Okay. That's why they have
So-
such a similar aesthetic.
Yeah, but then it was up to Bottin to like sort out everything. I mean, he's the one responsible for it, but it started with Rick Baker's designs.
Right.
But then he went to Werewolf in London and he wanted to do the bipedal werewolves, and it was a no-go over there. They wanted the Hound from Hell wolf. So on all fours.
I think it worked out for the best. I would say that I mean, we can get there when we get there, but I feel like the werewolf designs in this are just the slightest bit awkward. Like the ears are a little much.
I think the ears are a bit much.
Ears are a little gremlins, is what it is.
It is. I think they're just a little too big and a little too high up on the head. I really think it would be a subtle adjustment to make them
Just-
you know.
Yeah, like 20% smaller.
Well, if you look at Dog Soldiers, it's like they learned from this design and tweaked it, you know.
Yeah, the Dog Soldiers ones, they're more like Dobermans, aren't they? Like the shape of the ear, or it just like comes to a point.
It may be, but they're a little bit bigger, and they also have like a lot of, you know, the mane kind of.
Yes.
You're like a German Shepherd with a thick furry neck.
Yes.
But they also have the tri-jointed legs and stand up on their back legs. But yeah, I personally, if I'm comparing the two designs, I think the transformation in London was maybe better, but the final werewolf design in Howling,
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I like a bipedal,
More
real
of a wolf.
tall, looming, long-nosed.
Yeah, more of a
Yeah.
man beast than just a beast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like the historically inaccurate
Yes.
version? No.
I don't like the Twilight where they turn into like full wolves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, add it to the list of stuff not to like about Twilight.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, like, reason legends say that a werewolf is, or a man that becomes a ravenous wolf in particular.
Mhm.
So the kind of middle ground man wolf creature is, I think, a product of the Wolfman,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
and at least that's the earliest that I know of it being portrayed that way. But the designs on that are classic, and they didn't have anything to reference, so it is what it is.
No, I mean, and for the time, that was what was scary.
Yeah.
That
But
shitty balls.
I do like the bipedal wolves. I think there's room for both. I think there's room to be like, oh, well, they can become this, they can also become that.
Yeah,
They can do what they want because they're fucking supernatural creatures.
this is true.
I also like that aspect of it. Like there isn't with a lot of these kinds of creature features of the 80s like this, where there's something like zombies or vampires or whatever, something that like spreads from person to person.
Yeah.
There's usually a great deal of explanation as to what it is, the nature of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
they try to give it some kind of reasonable scientific.
either that or they go
thing.
the other way and they're like, oh, it's a purely magical thing. But like either way, they're explaining the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in this. It's taken for granted, like, oh, well, if you get bit, you're going to turn. What
Oh, yeah.
exactly that means, who cares? That's not the important thing.
Yeah, and they seem to have, control. It's not a moon-related thing. It's
No. I think there's mention of it made, like, oh, that's movie stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the bookstore owner is
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
that's Hollywood. A real werewolf can just change whenever they want to change.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So 1981's The Howling, budget of about $1 million, with the gross at just a hair under 18 million. It's so it's very successful.
Yeah.
Even though it was for the year for 81, it was only number 44 in the box office. Above it were Friday the 13th Part 2 at 29th, and Halloween 2 at 23rd, and An American Werewolf in London at number 15. But it did beat out Scanners, which was 55th for the year, and another werewolf movie, Wolfen, at 68 for the year.
Okay.
So that's very cool.
Even werewolf movies in 81.
Yeah, and I looked up, like, I tried to get more data, like, the early 80s, there's still, like, fuzzy box office data. But the weekend that it opened, it never hit number one. Because Friday the 13th Part 2 was still in the theater.
Yeah.
So that's the way it is.
Can you imagine that
seeing these
many
franchises play out
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like I remember as a kid certain things like Elm Street movies, Friday the 13th being in theaters, but I couldn't go see them, I
Right.
didn't get them till VHS in the 90s
Right.
or, I'd sneak off watching them at a friend's house when they came out on video. But
Right. But you're not going to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
like my biggest, movie theater memory that I can old man brag about is that I saw Return of the Jedi in the theater.
Oh,
And
shit.
I just barely remember because I was so young. Like, I know my dad took me and a friend of mine,
Yeah.
and I remember the excitement of being on the way there, and I remember that it was raining. Like, that's it. It's like a core memory.
That's cool, though. That's
but
awesome, though.
I don't actually remember
Watching the movie.
much about it. I just know that
Yeah.
I was there,
Yeah, I'm along the same lines because I'm like a year younger than you. I know I've been told that I was brought to the theater to see Return of the Jedi, and I was very excited.
Yes.
I have no memory of this. I straight up don't have any memory before I knew what Star Wars was. Like my earliest memories, Star Wars was already there.
Yeah.
So
Same here. My earliest memories, Star Wars and Indiana Jones existed. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah.
And I remember, again, I didn't get to see it in the theater, but I remember when Temple of Doom was out, and I remember
yes.
relentlessly questioning a friend of my parents that was over at the house visiting, like a teacher that worked with my dad.
Uh-huh.
They came over to like grill or something, and I'm this little kid who was just like obsessed with Indiana Jones and had never seen Indiana Jones. I just knew that it was awesome.
Yeah.
And I just made him basically like recount to me the entire movie.
That's how it goes. That's how it went back then.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much that Indiana Jones penetrated the zeitgeist back then because they didn't have like a big toy presence.
No, like I used masking tape and turned my G.I. Joes into Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like,
You would have thought somebody would have bit that.
Yeah.
I do remember, I very specifically do remember going to see Temple of Doom in theaters.
really?
Yes. My family were big fans. And I remember seeing, I mean, obviously it came later, but I remember seeing Last Crusade in the theater and the drive-in.
I remember Last Crusade
yeah.
in the theater, but by then I was like 9 or 10. So
Yeah.
that's
I also, I may have said it on the podcast before, but like, I didn't see any of the Nightmare movies, any of the big slasher franchises back when they came out.
yeah.
My wife introduced me to a lot of them after the fact.
Uh-huh.
And when I met her, because she's a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan, And I remember when
Freddy versus
Freddy
Jason.
versus Jason came out, and I asked my mom, like, "Hey, are we gonna go see that?" Just idle curiosity because it's a horror movie, and we were into horror. And she said, "No, those movies aren't good." So I was, little kid mind. I was like, "Oh, okay, those movies aren't good then. I don't have to worry about it."
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: those movies are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're rad. And my parents just didn't want me to like have nightmares to keep them up all night. Like they didn't want it to traumatize me or whatever. But seriously, they're like older kids in the neighborhood whose parents didn't give a shit. And I'd go to their house and watch them.
I mean, that's how it works,
And then it gave me nightmares, and my parents would get mad.
I wasn't. I had to be sat down very early on and told, like, this is on television. This is not real.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is not real. Stop. It isn't real. Because I had very intense He-Man fantasies.
Yeah.
Not fantasies about He-Man, but fantasies about being He-Man.
Yeah.
Like, I would run around, and the kids were like, that's not Joe. He is running around. He's a 4-year-old boy running around with green underwear on,
Yeah.
and a sword and a shield. That is
Uh-huh.
He-Man. That's not Joe.
Did you take like 2 belts and strap them across you? So that
Hell
you'd have
yeah,
the, like,
dude.
Yeah.
And so I had to be told very specifically. So I've never had a problem with like scary movies being too scary, giving me nightmares or anything like that, which I think my mom did just so that she could expose me to every horrible fucking thing that horror has. But yeah, and then He-Man led me to Skeletor, which led me to Villainy, which led me to horror.
Nice.
Because I had that moment where watching He-Man where I was like, Skeletor never wins, but he keeps coming back and is so sure he's going to win. And I started watching He-Man rooting for Skeletor. Like, he's got to get one win. Just like a small part, and he never did. And that was the start of the path for me.
I think I was kept away from it, so obviously it was attractive. Like, and it did scare me and stuff. But like, I remember me and a buddy renting. They shouldn't have let us rent it. We were like 9, but we rode our bikes to the video store and rented Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
and they let us. They fucking let us walk out of there.
Yeah, it's a teenager running this counter. He does not.
Yeah,
care.
it didn't give
He's
a shit.
making minimum wage.
But it was like we watched it with the sound off because we thought it would be less intense. But instead, you just get all these out of context brutal murders. You're just watching a snuff film at that point.
It's more confusing and thus more scary.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, so back to this.
Oh yeah, the Howling.
Yeah, the Howling. Directed by Joe Dante.
No, one more thing.
What?
80s introductory horror. Fucking Teen Wolf was probably my first werewolf movie outside of Lon Chaney, Wolfman.
Yeah, I think Teen Wolf introduced the concept of the werewolf to a lot of us.
And the 80s was great for introductory horror because you've also got Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Monster Squad. Like,
well, that was that thing where it was like, okay, the people who spend the money are like 13 to 18. Back then, that's what it was. The teen was the $1 or even later than that, like 19 to 21, 25. So it's like, okay, if we're going to release a movie, these are the people that we're going to have to actually get to come into the theater, regardless of the audience that the movie is actually for.
Yeah.
So you've got these movies with cross appeal across age groups. It's like, well, it's a comedy with of these guys and they're doing this supernatural stuff, but it's like SNL alums. Like, so we got like the parents, their kids, even small children can watch it, and it's Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And now movies have such like laser focused appeal that it's only pure luck when you've got cross appeal. I feel like.
Well, because now, you can go to the theaters, but I mean, the theaters aren't doing. They're not the only way.
And also the
streaming so fast.
The spending dollar has gotten younger and younger as time has gone on, and now like the biggest box office spenders are actually like 11 to 14-year-olds.
Oh wow,
go figure. Well,
but they also don't take risks anymore at major studios. They just,
of course not.
If it doesn't have like name recognition, if it doesn't have something to tie into, if it doesn't, it.
But thankfully, we also have like Weapons came out based purely on the success of Barbarian.
Yeah. Well, because horror's still
that testing ground where it's like we can throw a low budget at them. maybe they can get a couple stars on the value of like, oh, well, this guy wrote this thing.
Yeah. In fact, it almost seems like you are more likely to have a success with original horror than you are with remakes and requels and like legacy franchise stuff.
Just
anymore.
waiting for that pendulum to swing the other way. One of my coworkers, Lainey, who is, I don't know, maybe she's listening to this. I don't know. But
Hi,
she's
Delaney.
she said she wants like a 10-year memorandum or memoriam on sequels and remakes.
Yeah.
Just like give us a solid decade of new IP. And
then start doing sequels and remakes of those.
Yeah. I mean, just start it up again. Throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
I mean, sometimes I get really sick of the requel, sequel, whatever, but then I also think about like the all the way back, like the entire tradition of storytelling is hearing a story and then telling your version of it to somebody else.
That's also true. That's very true.
So from that angle, I can defend a lot of remakes, but so many of them are just cash grabs that it doesn't.
They are, but then like look at the franchises that we were just talking about from the 80s and stuff. Like that's all like sequel, requel, and stuff. Dude. Like,
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was directed by Joe Dante. Who,
oh, right,
of course,
The Howling.
The Howling, directed by Joe Dante, famous for, he did The Gremlins, Gremlins, The Burbs, Inner Space, a whole bunch of huge hits in the 80s.
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2. I love Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2, the movie that parodies the first one.
Yes.
Brilliantly so. I just tugged on a wire. There we go. Better.
Okay.
Yes. Brilliantly parodies the first one. He has a real keen sense of wit. Written by John Sayles and Terrence Winkless. It is based on the novel by Gary Bradner, which is actually the first in like I think it's a quadrilogy of the Howlings.
Yeah,
the novel is, and this is actually not the story of the first Howling book. I believe the third Howling film, which is like Howling New Beginnings or something like that, that actually is closer to the story of the first book. But it was written.
That's the only one in the franchise where the script was written by Gary Bradner.
Where he was
author of the book.
Yeah. The films are a completely different direction. They pretty much just take elements from elements and just run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Starring Dee Wallace as Karen White. Gotta love Dee Wallace.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the few like movies where she's not playing a mom, which is fun. She is like the quintessential mom because she was the mom in E.T. and Cujo.
Yes. But like Cujo, it is a movie where she's being attacked by vicious canines.
This is true. Patrick McEnany as Dr. George Wagner. He's fun. Wagner spelled with 2 G's. I noted that because Wagner spelled with 2 G's and Eddie is with 2 D's. And I was like, are all the werewolves have like an extra consonant? Is that a thing? Very weird. Dennis Dugan as Chris Howard. I was like, I was watching, I was like, oh my God, that face is so familiar. That voice is so familiar. He was in an episode of MASH, like one of the first, like, back in the day, I had like the first 3 seasons of MASH on like a box set, and I watched them on repeat. So he was in an episode of MASH. That's my touchstone for Dennis Dugan. Christopher Stone as Karen's husband, Bill Neal. Yeah. He is what he is. It's Belinda Belaski as Terry Fisher, Elizabeth Brooks as Marcia, Robert Picardo as Eddie, which if I had not looked that up, I would not have guessed that was him. Robert Picardo, famous for he played the holographic doctor in Star Trek. That is, yeah. But
Voyager.
Voyager. Thank you,
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my God, no.
Wild. He's in heavy makeup. I mean, he has hair. He's playing a bad guy. It's crazy. I don't think we get like we don't get a single shot of his face without some kind of FX makeup on it.
In fact, you don't even see his face at all, until
like almost all the way through the movie, and then from then on, you barely see anything.
Wow.
And right? Don McLeod is TC. Don McLeod is an FX guy. This is one of the few roles where he actually gets to be on screen.
Yeah.
Also, I love this shit. Kevin McCarthy is like the station manager who
Yeah.
I presume after the events of this movie has a nervous breakdown and ends up getting fired from his job, ends up a station manager in a smaller town. Where he then builds up another media empire and tries to take over a local UHF station. Because he's the bad guy from UHF. The Weird Al classic. Also appearing is John Carradine as the old man Earl. John Carradine, a horror legend. Kind of a third run working man character actor. Was in a lot of thrillers and horror movies back in like the 40s and 50s. Slim Pickens shows up.
Yeah.
Slim Pickens.
I know.
It's crazy. Another like
he survived the bomb.
yeah, like cowboy movie legend Slim Pickens.
Yeah.
And then of course Dick.
I
I'm
can
sorry.
never not think of him riding the bomb down in Dr. Strangelove.
Absolutely.
Rodeo hat waving.
It's iconic. It's the one of the most iconic images from a movie filled with iconic images.
Yeah.
And of course Dick Miller as the bookshop owner, very famously
love
also
him.
Joe Dante's Gremlins. He was the neighbor. I think he's one of those people that's like good luck charm.
Yeah.
for
What was
Joe
he like?
Dante.
The snowplow driver or whatever? Like, what was it? He had. But
Yeah,
he
he
was
had
the
a
neighbor.
snowplow. He's just like the neighbor guy.
Yeah, and then he came
and-
to visit them in Gremlins 2.
He's visiting New York with his wife.
Yeah.
And he's still traumatized from the first one. Oh, he has PTSD. He's wonderful. He's great in this. I love like the no nonsense, Brooklyn style occult bookstore keeper working in LA.
Yeah.
He's great.
Who walks
He's
the fine
tremendous.
line between knowing the true facts about supernatural shit and not believing it because fuck you, I'm just trying to make $1.
Hey,
Like-
he's doing what he does. You know what I mean? When I worked at Borders, this is another Border story. We got a flood of Bakugan toys in. They're these little spheroid, like marble type toys, and then you fling them out, and they pop open and they turn into creatures. It's kind of a Pokemon type of game.
Yeah.
I had still have zero interest in Bakugan. I learned entirely how to play the game just to sell these things because I was tired of looking at them.
Yeah.
And I, in fact, did sell quite a lot of it to a lady for Christmas for her kid. Like, hey, you need this in order to play. You got to have this, and this is a really cool booster, and this thing is neat. And so I understand learning it all and just being like, no, this is garbage.
Yeah.
This is garbage that you can throw away. But it's
And
for
he's
sale.
got this. Yeah.
It's for sale.
Yeah, I will absolutely accept your money and talk to you about it for hours. But it's not for me.
I love he's learned it all just purely through osmosis of being in the bookstore.
Yeah. Oh, and as far as like, there's certain like things. It's sort of the Adam Savage thing of objects from movies that you want to collect. You know.
Yes.
I want the wooden box with the silver bullets.
It is very pretty. It is
It's so
very
nice.
pretty. It's a very pretty prop. It looks cool. It's nice with the 30-aught silver bullets.
Yeah.
Very cool. So the actual movie, 4 minutes into the podcast. Opening credits are blood red letters over a black background, and then the title rips into the image. And we get the full title, and then it explodes as we zoom out. It's very cute. And then we get these staticky, distorted TV images, along with vaguely ominous sound bites from the rest of the film as the credits continue.
It goes on a little. I mean, it's
It does.
effective, but it's sort of
it's stylish, but it's not so bad that it becomes cheesy. I feel like I think it works really well.
Yeah.
And with a movie like this, where it's like we all know this is a werewolf movie, and the werewolves show up kind of late.
Yeah.
It helps to kind of establish, what we're getting into really early on.
It kind of starts with this like chaos, and you start right in the middle of the action.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of a thing, and it kind of
Honestly,
honestly,
you
I
really hit
think
the ground running. Yeah.
you hit the ground running, and I think the movie sort of really respects its audience in the way that it just assumes you're gonna
You're gonna
catch
get
what
this.
you need to get. You're gonna get the
Yeah.
information you need because here we go.
Yeah.
But But it also, it's so chaotic and so cut back and forth and everything that it really contrasts with when they get to the colony later. And it's much like
Yeah, that's true.
quieter,
That's very true.
calmer, but that's where the real danger is.
That's an interesting point. Yes, I didn't notice that, but that is very true. That's neat. Also, just forewarning, my notes that I pulled from this chronologically aren't the best. Things like because there's a lot of cut from this action to that action back and forth, and it doesn't necessarily do that great a job of it. Some of the stuff is just plain old out of order. We'll do our best. So then we end up with the Doc, what the hell is his name? Wagner. Doc Wagner. He's being interviewed about his latest book, which is apparently about how humans have a repressed animalistic nature. And that's not good. There's some benefit to letting that nature out. It's all very dry dialogue. Thank God we talk over it and we get away from it, because simultaneously we get news reporter or anchorwoman Karen White is making her way through a seedy part of town, kind of the red light district-ish. She gets propositioned in an alleyway by a guy who asks for a half and half. Or at least how much for a half and half.
Yeah, and we were watching that and Amber's like, what the hell is a half?
It's half blowjob, half sex.
Okay, well,
I looked it up. I did have to look it up. I'm not fully versed on prostitute etiquette. And I was just like, what could that possibly mean? It's both. The guy propositions her and she's just like, can you get the fuck out of my way? Like,
well, first she asks if he's Eddie.
Yeah, because she doesn't know who he is. She hasn't seen him. Eddie is this, Eddie the Mangler, I believe is his serial killer name.
Yeah.
That's been floating around. We eventually get that he's like obsessed with Karen. He's been messaging her, phone calling her. She is part of a police sting now to try to catch him. And she's wearing a wire, which is less than 100% effective. And the guy's like, no, it's John, because he's propositioning what he thinks is a prostitute.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, then buzz off. Because so we get a little bit of like, she's not a shrinking violet. This is not a delicate woman necessarily.
No, she's an investigative
capable of taking care of
reporter.
herself. Yeah. Which I think that's an important moment of just like, she's going to go through this thing and it's going to be traumatizing. Like, so she's not like somebody who's easily traumatized.
Well, but from here on out, she will need men to save her.
Well, yeah, because of the werewolves.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got, it's the 80s. It's early 80s. You can only do so much.
We'll get to it at the end. She does fight back and stuff. Like, she doesn't just like find the nearest fainting couch.
True.
But she is pretty wrecked for the rest of the movie.
I mean, she goes through this thing and it breaks her in a major way. So she sees a phone booth that has this smiley face sticker, which is apparently some kind of an indicator that Eddie has left.
Yeah.
She goes to the phone booth and waits for a phone call from Eddie. And eventually it comes and he tells her where to go. So she ends up going to this, it's like a dirty video store.
Yeah, it's a little porn shop.
Little porn shop, yes.
And it's
mom pop porn shop, it's fine.
It's early 80s New York grime.
Yes.
Before they cleaned up Times Square.
Yes.
Before it got all Disney-fied, back when it was just danger and prostitutes.
Yeah.
And dangerous prostitutes.
What I love about it is that she is enough of like a sophisticated, attractive woman that she comes in the store and every other customer, who are all men, just like drop whatever the fuck they're doing and get the fuck out. Like their mom walked in and they're like, what am I doing here? I have to go and pray.
The ones that didn't even see her yet suddenly feel a sense of shame and they can't explain it.
It's tremendous. And like the shop owner comments on that when the cops come looking for her. Because her wire is going in and out. There's all sorts of interference and stuff, and they're having trouble locating her.
Did you recognize the cop standing in the back where they're monitoring the wire?
I looked it up and I saw, but I didn't see who it was.
It was Meshack Taylor. It was Anthony from Designing Women.
That's where he is in this movie.
Yeah. That was him.
I saw he was in it, but like
the black cop with the fro sitting in the back, the detective that was monitoring the thing.
No,
and then you don't see him again after all this stuff. But
that's awesome, though. I like Meshack Taylor. I like Designing Women.
Oh yeah, it was a good show.
I mean, yeah, no notes. So yeah, But Matt, while we're going through all that, we're also cutting back and forth to the station where Bill is expressing how he doesn't like that she is doing this. She's going out on this risk. Her husband, Bill, whose last name she did not take. Notice made of that as well. So maybe they don't have 100% greatest marriage to start out with.
Well, Amber didn't take my name.
Didn't she? Oh,
No, she's still Albritton.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think she's in my phone as Amber Lee. I'll have to change that.
Her email, I think, says Amber Albritton Lee. She sometimes wishes she had just because it would be easier, but also I think
there's nothing easy about getting a new social security card.
No, like everything after that, like just not having to constantly explain. But I think it makes sense for her in the movie though, because she's a public figure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not.
She needs continuity in her name recognition.
Yeah, she's a professional, recognized individual. Like, especially as a news reporter, like maybe a movie star might have a little bit more leeway with that. But like a news reporter her street cred is her name, so
especially like
just can't do that.
Female on screen, like broadcaster
in the early
80s, late 70s.
Yeah, absolutely, you need everything you can get.
Yeah.
So
we've all seen Anchorman.
Exactly. She ends up. We also meet like quickly. They like we see Bill is talking to like Chris and Terry, I think, at certain points. Which who are friends of Karen's. Just to kind of introduce the characters a little bit.
Right.
So she goes to this dirty movies porn shop. And heads all the way to the back. There's movie viewing booths for masturbation. And she goes into a particular one, which evidently Eddie directed her to, sits down in it, and Eddie is in the back of the booth.
Well, and the movie that's playing is like a violent rape.
Yes, it's not a normal porn.
No, and Amber had a hard time with that. Like, it really stumped her. She's like, I mean, is that the kind of porn people were into back then? And I was like, I think the deal is that he chose it. Like, the rapist serial killer chose the movie that was playing. Like,
yeah, I mean, he chose a violent film a violent sexual film because that's what he do.
And apparently that porn was like made for this movie. I mean, it's not a real porn. It's not like a real.
That is weird.
That's weird. It's not like a full-on...
Joe Dante directed that porn.
I guess they made a couple of them, and they were going to be like bonus features at some point, and that idea got dropped because of how horrible it was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it makes sense. You don't want to have to, like, pay actual... That's
but I mean, no, they were actual actors. It wasn't... I don't know if it was adult film actors. I think it was just made to look like a...
Just made to look like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Bottom did a great job. It was a very impressive special effects. So he's standing. He's kind of like in the shadows behind her. She's facing forward. She doesn't actually turn around and see his face. And he's talking to her about how he can totally rock her world if he bangs her. He's very obsessed with her. She is just sort of stalling, I think, buying time for the cops to show up, and also to try to not be serial murdered and or violated by Eddie, the mangler, to be mangled. Yeah. And he decides that he tells her that he has to like show her something that will make everything better for her. And it is clear that he is transforming into a Howling creature. His voice goes down an octave.
It is subtle enough, though. It's scary. Something spooky is
happening.
But they did it great.
Unnatural.
Yeah, he's backlit. You know, you just kind of get the hair and
yeah. No, he's definitely like an imposing figure. And he tells her to turn around, and she does, and screams. The cops have finally caught up to where she is at this point. The shop owner is like, "Can you get her out of here? People are trying to good, hardworking, honest people are trying to masturbate."
Yes. She's interrupting the sin.
She is. Damn it. We don't have time for this sort of thing. So the cops show up, they hear her scream, and recklessly just fire directly into the booth.
Yeah, he really does. The younger cop just draws and fires through like a closed door.
Into a room where he knows she is.
Yeah, and he hits Eddie twice in the fucking head. Like...
No, like, hey, hit the ground or anything like that. Like, just bang, 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 bang. but luckily she was crawling on the floor at the time.
Yes.
She
He
gets out.
assumed she would be cowering
Of course,
with his super cop instincts.
because she's a woman.
There wasn't a fainting couch in there. He knew that. She was going to be on the floor.
The opinions expressed on the Innovates podcast do not necessarily reflect.
The people that are expressing them.
So she is in the aftermath of this shooting, the cops are everywhere. She's kind of her husband Bill comes in and kind of ushers her out wrapped in a warm burrito blanket. And she is completely shell-shocked, and everybody is trying to talk to her about what the hell just happened, including, I believe, Chris shows up, and he's like, we want you to go on the news. This is what you do. This is why you did this. Can you, what exactly happened in there? You don't have to, it doesn't have to be fancy. Just tell your story. Don't worry about being professional even, just talk. And she's just like, I have absolutely no idea. My last memory is walking into the booth.
Yeah.
So she's been traumatized to the point where she has amnesia of the entire incident. All that we know is she knows that it scared the living bejesus out of her. In the aftermath of this, she tries to go back onto the news and freezes on live television. They have to cut away and stuff. She's just incapable of dealing with any level of stress, apparently.
Yeah. Who knew it would be too soon?
Right. It's been literal days.
Why isn't she over it yet?
Grow some balls, lady. So her psychiatrist, Dr. Wagner, who is apparently just a friend of the show, because he's always there.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, he tells her, look, go to the colony. And she's like, oh, you're freak show upstate. Sure, that sounds fun. And he explains it's just a place where you can unwind, relax. Essentially, there's group therapy. It's in the woods. It's very mellow. It's essentially like a high, a yuppie, grippy sock academy. That's how I took it. So Karen and Bill go to the colony. I don't think she needed Bill along.
No.
I don't think she needed Bill at all. I think that becomes clear as the film goes on. But that's what they do. And the place is, it's nice and scenic, but it's a little odd. When they get there, it's evening, and there's kind of a welcome hoedown on the beach.
Yeah, big beach bonfire party.
Yeah, you meet all the local lunatics.
Weirdos.
Yes, weirdies. Even worse. And Bill meets Marcia, who is she's straddling a fine line between 80s hot and woman who is clearly a werewolf. She's got a lot of volume to her hair.
But it also is very structured. It's
it's very much so a helmet.
It's kind of
it's like a mane. It's a mane.
It kind of reminds me of we were talking about He-Man earlier, but the Masters of the Universe movie, the one with the white hair, oh
my God, that is exactly it. That character that was made for the Masters of the Universe movie, where it's this gigantic dome of hair.
Yeah, but it's up and back and square, sort of.
It's it's this protective.
It's a foam. It's like Dark Helmet.
Yeah, except it's her hair. Face-wise, I think she relies a lot on dimples. She's doing a lot with dimples. She's great. She's also
she's good at being spooky.
She's good at being spooky. She's good at being a slut.
Mm-hmm.
She is definitely it's very clear before the word go. She's you and I, me and her talking to Bill, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The end.
And she tells him to drink the punch. He's like, what's in it? She's like, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll follow your command to put things in my mouth.
Uh-huh.
It's that kind of a relationship.
You want to get roofied, Bill? Because that's how you get roofied.
I don't think she has to roofie him. I think Bill's halfway there.
I think
Bill put the roofie in.
Well. Later on when they do hook up, I thought he'd been roofied by being bitten by a werewolf. That was the roofie.
I do think not to get too too serious into it, but I do think that is part of it. Once you're in, you're kind of all the way in.
Yeah,
And
he gets bitten and suddenly he can't resist her.
yes.
Like,
Yeah, I do think that she gives off this. I mean, it's not directly stated, but there is a kind of conflict of the alphas going on, and she is one of
Yeah.
them.
Well, and
yeah,
Karen even refers to her later as a bitch in heat.
pretty on the nose.
Yeah.
So anyway, Karen meets, I think her name is Allison or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just meet the people right away. You know, they're bonfiring, they're grilling, they're trying to force meat on Bill, and Bill makes it clear that he does not eat meat.
Yeah.
Or at least tries to avoid it, is how he words it. They never outright state that Bill is a vegetarian, which is a weird thing to not do.
I mean, he owns health clubs in the early 80s. He doesn't eat meat. You know, he's
Oh.
like, he wears running suits all the time. He's
very
he's-
healthful.
He's 80s fit. And then later, of course, he says, I'll eat anything if I get hungry enough after he's been bitten.
Right. So the place is very isolated. It is very much so in the middle of the woods. In the middle of the night, I think they cut back and forth at this point, but we're just going to keep running with this narrative right now. Karen hears howling in the middle of the night, and she calls the cops, which we get in the scene later where she's like, well, of course you should call the cops. You heard something out there. And it's like, yeah, but she's in the middle of the woods. Like, so she heard an animal out in the woods.
Yeah.
And the cop, who is Slim Pickens,
Yes.
explains that it was probably just a coyote. You should just chill out. You're in the woods,
But it's
city
kind-
folk.
It is. That's kind of the thing, though. And that's still sort of a trope today that city people don't understand, like, the wilderness. And they go
Yeah.
out there and...
It is true. It's like there are so many noises at night when you're
Yeah.
out in the woods.
In fact,
Um,
I have a very fond memory of you at the cabin
Yes.
when we were up there, and I don't know if you remember, we were walking up to the campground to float back down to the cabin.
Okay.
And one of the guys, I think Mike Neely was there, and his buddy, you were talking basically about the difference between Poplar Bluff and Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And his buddy took offense. It was like, Poplar Bluff is a city? And you looked at him and said, no, it's not. Can you order Chinese food at 1 a.m. and have it delivered?
I have zero memory of this entire thing. That is such a me thing to say. I mean,
I'll never forget it.
that's
And he didn't get mad. He accepted your point. He was like, well, no, I can't. Like,
I don't think there's one Chinese food restaurant in Poplar Bluff and it's run by white people. Like there's no like blame on Poplar Bluff. I've enjoyed being there and meeting the people of it. But you know, whatevs. There is like, but no, I mean, I'm definitely city folk myself.
Yeah.
And I, you know, an ill-advised attempt to try to camp. And do you know how dark it gets outside when there are no lights?
yeah, it gets
It's
so dark.
Terrifying. It's terrifying. Karen, Donna is the name of the person, like the cabin next door that Karen makes friends with. And one night Karen and Donna hear animal noises and kind of go out into the woods to see what the hell it was. And they end up coming upon like a steer that's been torn apart. And
Yeah.
then Slim Pickens and stuff show up and they're like, yeah, there's been a couple of them, you know. So something's killing cows.
I didn't try to look it up, but that thing looked real. Like, that was a really good fake dead animal if it was fake. But like the eye, did you notice how good the eye was?
I mean, I don't put it past Spotton. Like he's damn good at his job.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
yeah, it's very cool.
it's just really, you see. I feel like I always notice dead animals in movies just look like a stuffed animal somebody dumped ketchup on.
Well,
And-
this is used for. There's literally like one shot.
Yeah,
Like one shot in the whole movie. And it's you know, it's in the
Yeah.
scene, but it's not like shown in the scene for most of the scene. So that level of effort is not always, you know, you don't always want to put it in there.
yeah, absolutely.
But it is very good, yes.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Terry and Chris are investigating Eddie the Mangler, trying to get some more information on exactly who he was and what was going on and all that jazz. They end up going to his job. It's casually made mention of they learned his last name from his job, Quist,
Mm-hmm.
which is an unusual last name.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever.
Is that one of the, because this movie is like chock full of references to other werewolf movies.
Mhm.
Is Quist a reference?
I didn't find anything that said it was, but I wouldn't put it past.
Okay.
I think part of it is just like we need a distinctive last name so that when we reveal other characters have that last name later, there's no doubt that they're related.
That's probably it. Yeah.
So they end up going to his apartment and his landlord lets them in, and like it's just wallpapered with like news clippings about the murders and his drawings of various people, places, and also people turning into fucking werewolves.
Yeah,
it's pretty on the nose when they start looking around.
It's a very classic serial killer den, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So Terry, they talked to Dr. Wagner about Eddie, and they talked to him about just about Eddie and stuff like that, and he tells them about like animal nature and stuff like that, his whole spiel. And he gets surprised that they found out his last name. So they're keeping some stuff from Dr. Wagner. They're not quite letting it all out there. And they don't actually tell him that they found his apartment, which I thought was interesting. They're trusting no one. So some of the drawings show people turning into animals and stuff. They end up researching lycanthropy. That leads them to the bookstore, the occult bookstore owner, which is a very fun scene. Like it starts with like two nuns walking into the bookstore, full habit. And it's like, what is bringing these people together? The bookstore owner's like on a ladder way up.
I want to go to this bookstore. Like this place looks rad.
Yes.
I want to spend afternoons there, but
I want to have this guy recommend shit to me.
And he really does. I love his character because he knows every book in the store, what's in it, what's good, but at the same time, he's like, nah, I don't believe in that. Like,
yeah. But he's like, I got this one and that one, and I got a couple of other ones. And it seems like he's just been reading a lot of them.
Yeah.
And he is just like an encyclopedic knowledge. And he's just magnetic. It is fantastic. He gives them the lore that a werewolf can be killed by fire or a silver bullet.
Yeah. That's
going to become important later. And it includes showing them a case of real silver bullets that someone ordered and never picked up, and now he can't get rid of. Because I always keep my precious metal ordnance just out on the counter in a bookstore. They end up going to visit the morgue to inspect Eddie's body. And we continue the proud tradition of morgue workers in movies, where there is a shot of a bloody brain next to a half-eaten sandwich. They are always eating while they are cutting up our bodies. Always, 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 always.
It's the only way that anybody can think of to show you that they're not affected by it.
Yeah, that they're disassociative.
Yeah.
It's proud tradition. When they get to the freezer that Eddie's body is supposed to be in, his body is mysteriously vanished.
Yeah.
And there is quite a bit of damage to the inside of the freezer door. What could have possibly happened? It's probably another prank by the Terenzi brothers, trying to make a dummy out of old Officer Mooney. But they're not going to get off that easy. When he gets his hands on them, after a few black and blue marks, that'll be the least of their worries.
Yes.
He'll show them a few other ways to use a nightstick, and then cause them pain to their weak, fragile, sweet, nubile young bodies. Let's just see what Mr. Jack Daniels has to say about this. Sorry. I
think we veered off, Joe.
Back at the nut house.
But also, I think that this is like one of the points where your timeline jumps, because I think a bunch of other stuff happens between the bookstore.
I think on the way to the colony, they get to the colony, and I think a bunch of stuff happens with Terry and Chris, and then we go back to the colony.
Like we get the dude watching their cabin at night, and old boy gets bit, I think, between then and there.
Probably we're coming to it. We're coming to it. Okay, so back at the nut house, Karen is failing at group, which you're not supposed to be able to do. But every time she tries, they're trying to like regress her back and get her to remember what happened. But every time she does, she just panics and freaks out and bails. And we're all disappointed in her, but we won't say so. And her and Bill aren't doing particularly well either, because some hoochie mama crazy named Marcia wants to climb Bill like the tree.
Marcia.
And we all know what that means. Fight.
Yeah.
Donna earlier mentions that Marcia is an nymphomaniac, but Wagner says that she's just misunderstood and she tastes like strawberries and cinnamon. I was very saucy in my notes. Marcia doesn't really go to the doc, doesn't really go in for the doc's theories. This is also kind of revealed later or earlier. She but she cares. She's taking care of her lunatic brother TC. There's no other way to put it. That guy is off, and she says that she caught TC reading Dr. Wagner's book and is very upset by that. She's like, she doesn't want him listening to your crazy theories. We'll find out later what she's talking about is just like constructively utilizing your animal nature and like
how not to kill people.
Yeah, not being a ravenous beast. So Bill ends up going on a rabbit hunt because he's the worst vegetarian with a bunch of the other guys, and he kills a rabbit with the very first time he shoots a gun.
Yes.
And something changes in Bill. But he comes home with the dead rabbit, which is the intended result.
Yeah.
And
and he's a vegetarian, I think, just for health reasons. There's no like moral anything behind it. I don't think it's I don't want animals to die. It's I don't want to consume meat because it will. He thinks
I don't want
it'll
to put that in my body.
Yeah, I think it really is the health thing, like an 80s. He'll wear a leather jacket.
Yeah, probably.
It's the 80s.
I mean, he's gonna cheat on his wife like in 5 minutes, so it's not like morals are like real.
Not a big deal
for him.
him.
So he ends up he runs into TC on his way back with his dead rabbit, and he's like, I got a rabbit. What do I do with it? And TC's like, you eat it. And he's like, oh, well, I don't really eat meat. He's like, you're gonna kill something and not eating it? Eat it? That's fucked up. Like TC is telling him that it's wrong. TC, who like is like, you know, torturing small animals and stuff.
Yeah.
So TC is trying to set up Marcia and Bill, clearly, because he's like, oh, my sister can cook it for you. Yeah, I don't like how he's pimping his sister out, but Marcia does because she's into it. So he ends up going to Marcia. He ends up going to Marcia, and she's like, yeah, I'll cook it for you after we bang, and tries to seduce him, and he just like pushes her off. And he's like, no, reasons, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe later.
Yeah, so Bill rejects Marcia for trying to tempt him with a dead rabbit or whatever. And he leaves and he's like...
She's been in the woods for a while.
He leaves and he's got like that all boned up energy of just like aggression. And he's making his way back to his goddamn wife. When a huffy, giant goddamn wolf comes out of nowhere and attacks him and bites his shoulder, which, it's kind of his arm, shoulder region. Don't really find that out till later because it was very indistinct when it happens action-wise. He ends up struggling back to the cabin, and Karen takes him to Dr. Wagner. Wagner patches up his wounds and then gives him the first of his rabies shots. Because if you're bitten by a wild animal and they can't analyze that animal's brain, they're not sure if it has rabies or not. I think it's a series of like 13 or 14 shots that you have to get in your stomach.
I sort of feel like I heard that they had like improved that process.
I hope so, but this was 1981.
Yeah,
and that was his first shot. And
the
size of the needle was not an exaggeration. Like it really is horrible. I've heard from people who had dealt with that as kids, and they're like, it is absolutely torturous. So Bill is all angry, super freaking pissy. And Karen is so stressed out by the biting that she just has to do something, even though she's not the one that was bit. And she calls Terry and Chris. And this is when we find out Terry and Chris are a couple. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're just in bed together.
They're just like, hey, your phone is ringing or my phone is ringing, whatever.
Yeah.
I like them as a couple. They have a good energy.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have the healthiest relationship of any two people in this entire film.
Absolutely, yeah.
So she asks them to come and just come to the colony because she wants some kind of support. And instead of just coming and getting her and leaving, I don't know why she doesn't just leave. Right. Chris has still got some shit to do, so Terry goes on her own. And Chris goes to return some videotapes. Karen's just happy to have somebody to unload all of her crazy on, and she gossips to Terry about every weird thing that's happened so far. And it's funny because they're having like a picnic or whatever, and Terry's like, oh, I didn't pack like any vegetables, it's all meat, I'm so sorry, Bill, who is also here for reasons. And Bill's in the background just like just making
Just
sweet
chowing down.
love
Yeah.
to this chicken. Like he is enjoying the hell out of it. He's like,
yeah.
oh
Well,
yeah.
This is when he
It's
says,
fine.
I'll eat
Yeah.
anything if I'm hungry enough.
I'll eat anything, including Marsha's butthole. Is how I read it.
Earmuff, Karen.
So that night, Karen tries to approach him for the D, and he's like, "No, I had shots days ago." And I got it, which means I have to read. And she's like, "Okay, I guess we're just not quite there yet. That's fine." He waits till she goes to sleep, and then he goes out in the woods to meet Marsha for campfire werewolf sex.
Yes.
The campfire werewolf sex is as weird as it sounds.
It's real weird.
It is very strange. They just sort of show up in the same place. That's part of the thing I think about like the mystical nature of it. Like,
yeah.
they don't say anything to each other. He's not like going through woods like, "Hey, Marsha." Like, he just shows up at the campfire that Marsha is at.
And that's like he rejected her. She wolfed out and bit him, and now he can't resist. Like
He's in her thrall. Yeah.
Now he's drawn to her.
And so they have the sex, and they turn into werewolves mid-sex. And again, takes a while. Werewolf changes take a while in this movie.
Man, they really do.
There's a lot
They
of
really do.
There's a lot of teeth work. There's a lot of we can just put teeth in their mouth and it'll look cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fangs. There's
Well,
the
and the
first shot of Bill with the
air
fangs.
bladders.
Actually. Yeah, but the first shot of Bill with just the fangs. There's this giant gob of spit that falls out of his mouth, and it's backlit. It looks cool, but it's disgusting.
It is gross. And the fangs look great too. Like they did a good job. Like it's hard to know where they came from. Big ass fangs. It looks like they came right out of his gums.
Oh, it's great dental work. I appreciate why they did it. You know.
Yeah. But then there's that like last shot of that scene is like like obviously cell animated like silhouette in front of the fire of them transforming, and then it pans up away from them.
I feel like again, like this is one of those things where it's like you're walking so that somebody else can run. Because there's a lot of different techniques that are thrown into this in terms of special effects with the transformations and the werewolves in general.
Well, they did like 3 long stop motion scenes for this movie, and
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, one shot made it into the very end of it.
Yeah, so it's a mix of like every possible effects technique.
Yeah,
and some of them work better than others. The cell drawn animation is glaring.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Well, because it was cell animation over top of live action footage of the fire, so it
the coloration isn't quite there. The lines are a little too crisp.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I guess apparently the stop motion, just a completely like sort of weird fact that was on IMDb, is that the stop motion armatures were recycled parts from the Davy and Goliath show.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you use what you got in the shop, right? Like, hey, that's why you got a shop. So Terry is snooping around the colony, taking pictures, looking at things, going over her notes. Why she's going over her notes like on the beach, I don't know. But she ends up finding an overlook spot of the beach that is exactly one of the images that Eddie drew. Like exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, Eddie was here at some point. Then as she's like wandering back to her cabin or whatever, she hears somebody calling her. Like whispering on the wind, and it's mysterious and strange. She ends up at Marsha's place, which is there's no one around, and she's kind of just poking through, doing her nosy reporter thing. And she ends up finding is it a hidden door, or there's a room that was clearly Eddie's. With like there's a smiley face sticker on the front of it, and she goes in and like it is just like his apartment, like all these drawings in the same style everywhere.
It is his aesthetic for sure.
It is. And as she's poking around, something attacks, and she's kind of chased out of the cabin, to like jump out a window, and she like crawls into like a crawl space under the whatever.
And this is like the first best shot of. Like when it busts that door open, you get the full sort of outline of what the werewolf looks like for the first time.
I wonder if that was an issue, because like that one shot of them with the sweet werewolf sex, where it's like maybe they intended to have like 2 werewolf, puppets essentially, and then silhouette them, and it was like you could see too much.
It might be.
And so
Because
they were
that-
like, we'll cover it up and we'll just do it pure in silhouette.
And that silhouette transformation, like, they look like actual wolves. Like, it looks like
Yes.
they're turning into just wolves.
Well, that
Instead
cell
of-
that cell drawn animation would take so goddamn long to
Oh,
do.
yeah.
It's probably before they had other finalized designs finished for the film on film.
Yeah.
And it would be a very different kind of environment to actually produce those. Not like the FX studio where
Right.
you know physical props would be made. So that's the mismatch is understandable.
Yeah.
So that she ends up cornered like in this crawl space. As she was running past it, she grabbed an axe that was in a tree stump.
Mhm.
I just thought this was funny. Like I pulled these notes from IMDb, and they specifically mention it is a Swedish carpenter's axe. It is
Really?
that very specific. That is the name of that style of hand axe.
Weird.
And I was like, okay, that's necessary to know. I guess it's not a
I
two-headed
just thought it was
battle
a
axe.
hatchet, I was...
Right. Swedish carpenter's axes are nasty. And the creature kind of reaches inside to swipe at her and stuff, the werewolf, and she chops that motherfucker's arm off 85 feet tall. And
And you and me and Ryan are the only people that will know what that is.
and I'm leaving it.
There's no way that homeless person is still alive at this point. And we're leaving it at that.
Jesus Christ. That's terrible. So jeez. She chops his arm off, and she does a good job at it. She's kind of like, at first it's like behind her and she's kind of struggling to hit it with the axe, and then she turns around and chops that son of a bitch off, and then she watches the arm, werewolf arm, turn into a human arm. But it doesn't just turn into a human arm, it like wriggles around and flops, and it's like a dying
bubble.
fish.
Mm,
Yeah, it's crazy.
twitches. Yeah.
So Terry runs then from there to Wagner's office, where nobody is, and she calls Chris because she's like, Jesus fucking Christ, werewolves. And Chris is like, okay, well, leave, go, run,
Mhm.
flee, and he's like, also, does Wagner have any files there? Is there a filing cabinet? Let's get you in more trouble.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, stay on the phone, because that's what we did back then. And so he's on the phone while she's going through the files, and she looks up Eddie Quist and finds a file under Q. There is two more Quists, Marcia and TC. They are brother and sister. And before she can dig any deeper, werewolf shows up and kills her.
And it's like a weirdly slow, intimate werewolf kill. He like grabs hold of her and bites her. It's a vampire kill.
Yeah, he bites out her throat.
But he doesn't like raw at it,
No. He kind of chews it out.
Yeah, it's not quick.
No. So Chris is listening to the attack on the phone, conscientiously. And then from there, he runs to the bookstore to get the bullets. And he's on his way to the colony now.
Yeah. I like that the werewolf at first breaks through a door and can't get it. Well, it's a different werewolf.
Yes, because
it has
the
both
one
hands.
the one that attacked
it's
her
Eddie
at
in
Marcia's
the
cabin
office.
was TC.
Yeah.
This is Eddie.
Yeah. But
He
he's
was
so
apparently
quiet.
been hiding out. Yeah.
Like, he just all of a sudden is there fully wolfed out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Karen confronts Bill about the fact that he is totally banging Marcia when she sees the scratches on his back. Bill denies any wrongdoing, giving a detailed explanation about the marks and how he got them, then discusses how the lack of physical intimacy that resulted about her understandably traumatic encounter with a dangerous criminal has left them both with feelings of inadequacy, sadness, and frustration, and suggested that they take some time to journal about their feelings, then meet back up in a few hours to have an open, honest conversation about trust, promising to use I feel statements and try not to judge each other, but instead focus on solutions and what they can do to improve the situation in both the short and the long term.
That's weird because that's not
I'm
how
just kidding.
That's
I'm
not
just
how
kidding.
I remember
he
it.
backhands her and then when she calls Marcia a bitch in heat.
Yes.
He slaps her.
And then doesn't apologize. Like,
No,
like
he doesn't do any of it.
he's like Sean Connery in this motherfucker. He's
like, you won't talk about my alpha that way, and just backhands her. And so Karen is like, just grabs her shit, and she's like, I am leaving. I'm gonna go see Dr. Wagner and let him know that I'm leaving. I'm out of here. You're not gonna do that. You could do that. So she goes to Dr. Wagner's office. And no one is there again.
Yeah.
Where does Dr. Wagner hang out? Does he have like another? What is he? By the waterfall? Where is he?
He's just in his cabin, just being old and wishing people listened to him.
Anyway, so she goes to the office and he's not there. But so there's like an examination table and like a curtain around it, one of those like standing curtain frame things. And she pulls back the curtain frame thing, and it is Terry, and her throat has been torn out, and it is horrible. And then suddenly, out from behind her pops Eddie.
No. This was weird because first off, her reaction is very like she almost expected to find the body there.
She's sad, not shocked.
She's sad, and she covers her back up.
Right.
And then she turns around, does something else, and then the sheet rises up, and now it's Eddie.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a real quick cut to now the body of, what's her name?
Terry.
Terry is like
on the floor
against the wall. Just like, by the way, he moved her and got under the sheet in the 2.5 seconds that you weren't looking.
Which is a weird kind of magic tricky thing. Like, he could have just been in the corner.
But this is also the same werewolf that just appeared in that office and killed Terry in the first place, and who was able to like materialize behind her in the porno booth. He's a ninja werewolf.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I buy that. He's a magician.
Yes.
So he's the perfect man. He's also studying magic. So Eddie shows up and he's talking to her about how he's disappointed in her that she brought the cops in the first place. And he still has like bullet holes in his head.
Yeah.
And he tells her I'm going to give you a piece of my mind, and then digs in and rips a bullet out of his own skull.
Yeah.
And then Eddie changes, and it kind of takes a while.
It takes a really long time. And I mean, I guess they put so much into the transformation sequence was the big deal.
Of course.
And they pretty much let Rob Bottin direct that scene. Like, he was there deciding what angles and lighting and stuff for that scene. I guess they probably didn't let him edit it, but it was such a big deal that it just goes on and on, though. And she just stands there and watches it.
That's the thing is like there's an extended transformation sequence in American Werewolf in London, but the guy's by himself.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's like
the thing.
that doesn't strain credulity. It's also like, it's a point in the film where there's nothing kind of pressing. This is like in the middle of the action. We're pausing to watch this thing transform.
Right.
But Karen, not wanting to interrupt a solid FX sequence, does nothing until he's finished. And then she grabs a conveniently placed bottle of acid that's behind her and throws it in his face.
Because what psychiatrist doesn't have a big jar of hydrochloric acid sitting on top of their filing cabinet?
It's right next to his bottle, like human corpse examination table.
Yeah, he keeps it right next to the vodka and matching bottles and just hopes one day he'll end it all on accident.
Chris, he's a psychiatrist and therapist.
Yeah. Well, that explains it. Moving on.
So as she's trying to run away from that mess, she runs into like other colonists, and they bring her to their meeting spot, giant barn, lodge, whatever. And it turns out like just everybody at the colony is a werewolf. They are all werewolves. They always all were werewolves.
They're all sick of trying not to be werewolves.
Yes. We get the kind of conflict of the group, which is like I said before, this is kind of like War of the Alphas, where the doc has this whole philosophy that like we can subjugate the beast within and then use positive things from that to make our lives better. And so he's trying to get them to kind of modernize. And Marcia is like, no, the old ways were the best ways. Let's hunt humans.
Yeah.
And everybody agrees with Marcia, essentially.
It's more fun.
Cinnamon and strawberries. So that's what we're doing. Chris finally shows up. Apparently having just missed Karen leave the Dr. Wagner's office. And so he goes there, and he's kind of walks in the room, and does he start playing the tape? I think he starts playing the tape that's on the somebody starts playing the tape. And he's standing there with his rifle in his hand, and Eddie sneaks up behind him and grabs Eddie, who's in human form. Excuse me.
Yeah.
At this point, excuse me.
Oh, something else ridiculous that I noticed, though. When Chris arrives in his sweet-ass little, like, Mazda.
Yeah, his little two-seater.
he's driving up on dirt and grass and slams on the brakes, and they put in a sound effect of rubber on like asphalt. There's like a squealing tire as he stops on the thick grass in front of the cabin.
So important that he managed to squeal on grass.
Only in a Mazda
Sport. Oh my God. So Eddie like sneaks up behind him and kind of grabs the rifle out of his hands.
Yeah, didn't he like punch through the window of the office and snatch it?
Something like that. So Eddie's talking to Chris there, and like Eddie's literally like the acid has burned down to Eddie's skull on half his face.
Yeah, like his whole jawbone is out.
His whole bones are out. And he's talking to Chris about how wonderful, like, oh, listen to that tape. Listen to her dying screams and everything like that. It's fantastic. Not realizing that he's talking to the one person who has heard all of this before.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. So he's like, you thought you were going to hurt me with your little gun? You know what? Go ahead. I triple dog dare you, you know?
Yeah.
And you can't back down from a triple dog dare. I don't know if you knew that.
No, you can't.
You literally can't. What are you going to do? So, because he's so convinced of his superiority and Chris isn't going to be able to hurt him. But what he doesn't know is that Chris has silver bullets. So Chris just shoots him and he dies.
And I love it. I love that because it kind of acknowledges how long the transformation was before, because we just watched him do the whole transformation.
Yes.
And then she splashes his face and gets away. And this time he tries to do it again.
Yes.
He does his little monologue and then he starts to transform. But the second his face starts bubbling, dude's like, nah, fuck that. Bam.
Well, and to be fair, the first time in the movie he transformed was in that booth with Karen, and it traumatized her so bad that she had amnesia.
Yeah.
And it completely boned her life.
Yes.
Like, so yeah, it's a lot for a person to handle.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris kills Eddie, and then he goes running out, and they're like, oh, well, should we, Karen could be one of us, or should we could just kill her? What are we going to do? And they're like, well, you can't just slaughter her. Like, take Terry's body, put him in the car, douse him with gasoline, and light it up and throw him off a cliff.
Yeah.
That won't be suspicious at all.
No, but I question, I guess you could just say that the Quists wanted her to be there and they had him invite her out, but why in the hell did the doctor bring her out there?
I think that the doctor wanted to go mainstream with the werewolfism. His dream was like the vampires coming out of the coffin in True Blood. He wanted like people to know about it and be able to like integrate werewolves into human society.
And he thought maybe she'd be an ally in that.
Yeah, like he could show her, she's a news reporter. She could, attest to it and attest to the fact that they're not dangerous. They're civilized creatures who only, like, they raise their own livestock to kill, and then they're fine with it.
Yeah. But at the same time, he's bringing her directly to the serial killer and his crazy family that's obsessed with her.
He thinks he's in control of the whole situation.
Yeah.
He
or
thinks
maybe
he's
he
in
wants
control
her
of
as an
everything.
ally against them. Like, he knows that
That's
they're
possible.
Like,
I don't know that he necessarily saw Marcia and her ilk as that big of a threat. Because he takes it he's very casual about the whole thing of like, no, we're not doing that, you guys. And everybody else is like, yeah, that's what we're fucking doing. So because there is a kind of moment where he's like, Karen, get away, like, get away or whatever. So Chris shows up, and they're kind of like, TC's like, she took my hand, but I'm still crazy.
Yeah.
And starts to come after Chris, and Chris is like, I've got a gun with silver bullets. And he's like, no, you don't. Nobody has silver. And then he gets shot. And then another guy's like, he ain't got no silver bullets. Get up, TC. Come on, let's get this guy. And then he just shoots that guy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, crap, silver bullets.
They're real.
What? Yeah, the werewolves don't believe in silver bullets.
Yeah.
The supernatural monsters don't believe in the existence of an actual real-world metal and ammunition.
I think maybe they just don't believe that anybody's going to be prepared for them.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Nobody believes in werewolves. Who's going to have silver bullets?
Chris.
Oh, wait. The guy that just heard his girlfriend get murdered by a werewolf who just told him it's werewolves.
I mean, to be fair, silver bullets work on humans too, so it's not like he wasn't prepared for anything.
I mean, they do sort of cover all bases, but also, you don't just they just got real lucky that they knew where some silver bullets were. You don't just run into a gun store and say,
a store where they also told them conveniently that fire will kill them too.
Yeah.
So and he gets Karen out. Dr. Wagner tries to approach and he shoots Dr. Wagner, and it's a kind of like death or suicide by cop type of thing where Wagner's like, you shoot me with the silver bullets. I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah.
Anymore.
He's like, thank God.
I have failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of menace the werewolves back into the barn, which the werewolves are all starting to turn, which, as we have already covered, takes a second.
Yeah.
But they're all fangs, and he gets them into the barn and bars the door, and he's like, take this gasoline that they were going to use to burn you up, and let's light this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And so they do, and they burn up most of the werewolves in the barn, which is fun. At the last second, they're starting to break through the boards and everything, but there's it's interesting to see in a movie like this with a lot of effects and stuff. There are moments when it's clearly just a hand puppet with a werewolf mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there are some moments of hand puppet werewolf shots.
Well, apparently there was going to be an effect here where they were they called it the werewolf cannon, where they were flying out of the barn, but it looked ridiculous.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can understand that. So they try to get away, and first they get into to Chris's car, and they're driving, and then the road is barred by Slim Pickens, who is of course a werewolf. And he is
smart enough to try to shoot them instead of bite them, though.
Yeah. I mean, he takes some pot shots at them and stuff, enough to kind of mess up their car.
But it turns out the TV news reporter is a better gunfighter than the rural sheriff.
Who knew? Yeah, the guy who's theoretically trained.
Yeah.
I mean, probably didn't go to the fancy academy.
No.
Like you did, he got his learning on the streets. That's how he knows with these damn kids. Always trying to get the best of him, but they're not going to get the best of him. Jack Daniels. So Chris kills Slim Pickens, the werewolf. They steal his cop car and they're driving away again. And then a werewolf breaks through the rear window.
Oh, they get swarmed.
Yeah, they get it. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
A werewolf breaks through the rear window and bites Karen in the shoulder, and they end up having to shoot that werewolf, which turns out was Bill.
Yes.
It's kind of the last thing Bill does before he dies is prove that he is still a piece of shit. As they're driving away from this horrific event, Karen is telling we got to warn people. We got to let people know this is a real thing, and it's nuts. And then we get one brief stop motion animated shot of the werewolves in the road. That's a very pretty shot.
Remaining three. Yeah.
The remaining three werewolves. And then we get our little epilogue. Karen is back, baby. She is going to go on the news and do the news. And they don't know it. They think she's just going to do a news piece about how horrible it was that the colony burned down and all these innocent people died. Probably because they had a bonfire or something, and they did some stupid hippie shit.
No, they think it's a mass suicide. They call it a Guyana-style tragedy.
That's right. That's right.
They think it's cult behavior.
I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah.
They're not entirely wrong. So as they're, the station manager is there's one shot where he's greeting Karen as she's walking her way back in the studio, and he's wearing a sweater and a jacket, but he's got the jacket over him as a cloak, and he's holding it on his shoulders.
Wait, does he do? Because he must do that twice then, because that's it. He does that at the beginning.
Oh, is that at the beginning? I'm thinking of. Yes,
he's telling her she's going to be the biggest thing and whatever.
It's such a weird, awkward thing.
It is a strange outfit choice.
It's a strange choice. Somebody said, he said, okay, you're ready to go with a sweater, and he's like, no, I'm an executive. I would wear my jacket all the time. And they're like,
"Sir, it's 85 degrees in here,
and you're wearing a bulky sweater. Your arms literally won't fit into the jacket." And he's like, "I'll just wear it like this." It's a weird preppy move. Anyway, the image stuck with me. So anyway, Karen is back, and he's in the booth, and he's if she freezes up again, be ready to go to commercial and stuff, because I don't trust her.
Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, werewolves. As they say. So she starts to do the news. She starts, the news report starts, and of course it's live, because that's what we did back then. And she's immediately not reading what's on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
She starts talking about how there are shapeshifters out there and people need to beware, and it is true and it is not a lie, and this sounds crazy, but she is going to prove it. And the station manager guy starts to freak out, like, oh, she's losing it, cut off, and Chris is like, no.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Chris yells at them so they don't do what the boss said to do.
See, the thing is that later in the scene we'll reveal that Chris still has the gun with the silver bullets.
Yes.
I feel like that could have helped in telling people what to do.
Yeah, if he had told them to cut and then it just like whip pan to the side, he's just standing there with the rifle like, I don't think so.
Yeah, right. It's like all the guy has to do is go like, click, and everything changes on screen. But anyway, so she proves that what she says is true by turning into a werewolf on live television.
Yes, an adorable little lapdog werewolf.
Yes, she turns into a weird kind of doggy werewolf, were-dog. And
or
and
is that
ratings-
supposed to be mid-transformation for her? Like the nose is gonna come out, but right now she looks like an Ewok?
I don't know. I really don't know.
What kind
Maybe
of dog
everybody's
is that?
their own-
Pomeranian? Is that what kind of dog that is that I'm thinking of?
Possibly.
I'm gonna
I
look
mean,
it up.
maybe everybody's their own species of dog when they transform.
But they're supposed to be wolves, man.
Yeah, but I don't
They
know. They all looked the same before. Like, I think Marsha Werewolf had kind of her halo of hair, her hair helmet, but we didn't see like strong species differentiation in the werewolves before.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. So she turns into a wolf on live television. Ratings go through the roof, and she gets to host a new segment where she plays popular sports as a werewolf. And she's so good at hockey that the pro league team, the LA Hounds, actually offers her a position. It turns out that there's no rule in hockey saying a werewolf can't play hockey. That, of course, is our backdoor into Airbud 15 Puckhound. And yes, I checked. I checked through an increasingly tangential series of sub-films. There are 14 movies in the Airbud saga, which is more disturbing than any of the violence in this.
Yorkshire Terrier.
Yorkshire Terrier. Wear Yorkshire Terrier. There you go. Just kidding. She looks at Chris with a sad puppy dog face, and he shoots her in the face.
Yes. And now he goes... So, you think Chris goes to prison because...
I don't think anybody
just
knows what happens next.
Nah, she's turning into a... Because we also know she's going to turn back into a human, though. Like, when the cops show up, dead person on the ground, and everybody's going to be like, nah, that was special effects.
Lucy is going to have some splaining to do. That is for certain. But you've got, like, live video evidence of what exactly happened.
And witnesses.
I would say that his murder trial is definitely going to be an event where the truth of werewolfism is made plain in public. I mean, the werewolf defense is a lot.
Yeah.
Let's not lie. It's a lot. But if anybody's going to pull it off, it's going to be Chris.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. So we get shots of different people who've been watching television reacting, children saying like to their mom, like, the what news lady turned into a dog. And we end with some guys in a bar who are like, it was special effects. And another guy's like, no, it wasn't. It was real.
And they shot her.
Yeah, and then they killed her. And he's like, you don't know. You're loaded. And he's like, yeah, that don't mean it ain't real. And as they pan across, a guy is buying a burger for his new lady love. And it turns out that it is Marsha, and she likes her burgers rare because werewolves.
She has not changed her clothes or her hair.
Marsha the werewhore strikes again.
Probably smells awful.
Like you've got like that campfire smoke going as well because of the burning building.
Yeah, and werewolf musk. I don't know.
Musk, dirt.
Yeah.
Sweat.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bar.
Blood.
Probably into it. Blood. The guy's probably into it.
I mean, people. It was 81. That bar was full of cigarette smoke. You couldn't smell anything else.
That's also true. Oh, that's all going to be trapped in that like sponge layer of hair.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
for later.
For later, for flavor.
Yes. Like I remember, Like I remember when I used to smoke, if it was cold outside, you'd smoke and then you'd go in and the smell of it would just like roll off of you.
Yeah.
Like, as you
yeah.
warmed up, it would just blossom.
Yeah. No, it's really habit. And it's yeah. Oof, boy.
Yeah.
But that's the end. That's
It is.
that's the Howling.
Yeah.
Which
I
has many
loved it.
sequels.
It's a lot of fun. I haven't seen any of the sequels, so my sequelization is not it. Maybe it's something that happens in a sequel again.
Throw it, do it. Let's talk.
Well,
Sequelitis.
basically my sequelitis would be he doesn't hit her. She kills the news team and gets away.
Ooh.
Because we didn't really see her die. Or
Okay.
like when he fires,
he killed her and
somebody
it
tackles
didn't, it
him
wasn't
like
lethal.
yeah, he grazed her or something. It's an injury. But anyway, she gets away. He goes to jail. And we basically end up like the overarching thing is going to be sort of her as a werewolf versus Marcia, but now we're in the city. We've changed locations and it's going to be sort of a cat and mouse, but it's werewolf.
Werewolf in the city.
Yeah, because Marcia's like hunting for her now.
Well, then they become like frenemies, and then they find two other werewolves, and one of them is kind of prissy, and one of them is kind of no nonsense, because Marcia's the slutty one,
Yeah,
and it becomes werewolf in the city, just like Sex in the City,
excellent.
because she's trying to
yes.
find a werewolf husband,
Yeah,
you know.
and then they get recruited by the government, and it becomes Werewolf Charlie's Angels.
One of their 4 is killed, so there's only 3 of them left, and they're like,
Yeah.
then it gets serious, and they're like, we got to get revenge, and
Yeah.
oh my god,
but I mean,
that's so
like,
stupid.
While
Sorry.
Karen be going to great lengths to like stay concealed and not hurt people, Marcia's out here just like building a new fucking pack. She's
building an
people.
army. Yes.
Yeah, now she's the leader. And
But what would be cool about that is that Marcia now, in order to kind of to have that confrontation, she's going to have to come to Karen in the city.
yes.
So now it's a reversal of like who's on whose territory.
Yeah.
And then Karen can have sex with her boyfriend.
Yeah. Flip that shit around.
Do a complete reversal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Karen 6 Cujo on her.
Cujo is Marcia. That's the Howling 7. Cujo.
Ooh. And then it turns out baseball bats defeat werewolves too.
The bookstore owner's like, yeah, I didn't I say that? Fire, silver bullets, or baseball bats. Didn't I say that?
Baseball
I thought I
bats
said
can
that.
kill anything. Where you been?
I'm sorry, I was distracted. There were nuns in the store. It's always distracting. I mean, like, oh god, I don't have much with sequelitis, but like with Joe Dante directing, I would love if it went the Gremlins route and Howling 2 was just taking the wicked piss out of Howling 1.
That would be fun.
And push things to crazy limits.
Yeah.
And like Marcia becomes like a leader of her new wolf pack, and then the government's like, we believe you about werewolves, but we don't want the general public to. So Marcia is now head of like a secret elite werewolf soldier unit. So not only does Karen have to deal with other werewolves, she has to deal with werewolves with guns, which is crazy talk. And the government's like training the werewolves with like shock collars and stuff to be obedient. And then it doesn't work. And they have to call in the one werewolf that they know that can take down Marcia. And that's Karen.
Yeah. And so this one is not going to. So when it's vampire sequels, it turns into vampires versus werewolves. But when it's werewolf sequels, we're just sticking with werewolves.
Well, we do cyborg werewolves.
Oh, that's
we're going to have cyborg werewolf.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be, so, you know, it goes vampire, werewolf, robot, alien.
Yeah.
Brief detour to love story. And then like the actual like 70s smash hit love story where like 2 people fall in love and one of them dies of cancer. And then you come back around and now it's vampires again. That's the sequence. I don't make the rules.
I want to see I don't know if we talked about it before, but did you ever read Scud the Disposable Assassin? It was a really great
I have
comic.
a bit, yes.
There's there's a storyline in there where Scud ends up on a space shuttle, and it turns out one of the astronauts is a werewolf, and his whole plan is to get to the moon and become werewolf god. And
you'll just be permanent werewolf, yes.
yeah, but he ends up in the vacuum of space, decompressing and exploding, but he's a werewolf, so he comes back together. But he's in the vacuum of space, so he decompresses and explodes. But he's a werewolf, so he comes back together. And he's right by the moon, so this is just the rest of eternity
Endless.
for him.
Oh, God in heaven. That's messed up.
Oh, man.
That's tremendous.
Speaking of like werewolves and other stuff, we very recently, I think like 3-4 nights ago, watched the Wes Craven's movie Cursed.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I have not seen that one.
It's not good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun to. It's not so bad that you're waiting for it to be over. It's fun to watch. I mean, it's Christina Ricci. It's
I did see that one. Oh man, you said Christina Ricci. That's what
yeah.
triggered me. I believe I did see it. Hang on a second. I will tell you what I thought about it when I see what I said about it then. No, not Curb Your Enthusiasm. Cursed with Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg. Oh, no,
Jesse
I didn't see
Eisenberg.
this. Why didn't I see this?
It's worth a watch. I think it's even like it's on Prime now, maybe.
Oh, I adore Christina Ricci, dude. Like, hell yeah.
It's directed by Wes Cravens. But it's
Yeah.
2005, and they went CGI for the werewolves
Oh,
for the most part.
no.
There's some practical stuff, but like
An
the
American
full-on
Werewolf in Paris.
yeah, it's got a lot of people in it.
It does have a lot of people. I'm seeing
Like
Portia de Rossi.
Milo Ventimiglia
Yes.
plays just the dialogue. He plays the bully picking on
Nice.
Jesse Eisenberg,
Nice.
and like the insults. God, I wish I could remember. They are gold. You need to watch it.
All right.
It's
Judy
fun.
Greer's in it. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll have to check it out.
It's fun, but it's just not. I don't know.
Not great. Yeah.
You expect more from Wes Cravens, I think, is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It is.
But
what
it is fun. It is fun, and if it's free, it's absolutely worth watching.
Yes, for sure. I just saw it somewhere. Yeah. I just saw it advertised somewhere last night.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
But I think, we've talked about, you had the idea to do movies within a genre, a few in a row, and then do like a wrap-up one.
Sure.
And I think that I still really want to do that when we get to doing one a week. But, I was thinking for werewolves, it'd be cool to just hit different, like, go old kind of in the 90s maybe, and then maybe do American Werewolf in London, do Dog Soldiers, even go back to Lon Chaney. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like as much as werewolf movies are a thing, there are subgenres of werewolf movie that like venture into different directions. This is certainly an interesting one because usually a werewolf movie is about somebody dealing with the curse. Shit, we just watched Ginger Snaps the other night.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And it's like usually that's what it is somebody dealing with the curse. This is not that.
No.
The Howling is more of an invasion movie almost.
Yeah, well, so is Dog Soldiers.
Yeah. Dog Soldiers is just a straight up action film. It just happens to be that the thing that they're being attacked by is a supernatural beast that's unkillable. It's very interesting to see the different directions that you can go with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, and Cursed is dealing with, because the Jesse Eisenberg and Christina Ricci both get bitten, and at the same time they're trying to save what's her name, Shannon Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she's getting dragged away and eaten, and they are trying to help her, and they get bitten, and then you see them slowly changing and weird shit happening. So it's about them dealing with that, and it's a very traditional. They are cursed. Like a psychic lady tells them they've got they even have like they have like the pentagram marks on their hands and stuff. So it is a very old school werewolf that
kind of ode to the Wolfman and stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's got good elements and it's got good actors. It suffers from the time period it came out in, I think, because of the aesthetic and the
kind of attitude that films had at that point.
Yeah, and also. Wes Cravens does his best work when he's not at the top of the industry, like when he's kind of an underdog.
Because he has this once he gets to that top point, he has this kind of contempt for his own success.
Kind of.
Where he's kind of like, that's what it feels like to me, at least.
Also, there's that whole thing about just working against limitations sometimes drives a better
That's true.
quality product. And I think you see that, like Scream 1 is really, really good, but it came out of nowhere. And it brought him back into the limelight,
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Cursed came out in 2005, so it's what 7-8 years past Scream now, and
Yeah.
he's back on top as the horror guy. So they gave him all the
Right.
money he wanted.
Yep.
They gave him the cast he wanted. Like
They were like, you can do it. You're the greatest. We don't care. Yeah.
yeah. And I just think some people do better when they have to struggle a little.
There is something to be said for the limitations, for having limitations creatively,
Mhm.
and how that can shape and guide and lead to positive results.
Yeah,
And I think like every low budget horror movie in the world shows that.
and I think it's a very simple, it's the Jaws effect where if you've got the money to do whatever you want, you get these big ideas and it ends up being more of a spectacle.
Yes.
But if your effects don't work and you have to find a way to still make the movie interesting, then it turns out that showing less of the monster was scarier.
Like it forces you to find
Yeah.
those alternative ways to make it interesting.
Yeah, to communicate what you need to, and it showing the less is more thing is pretty cliched, but it's cliched for a reason.
I mean, it works. It definitely works. Yeah, for sure. Sorry. Yeah, no. But I did enjoy The Howling. I am interested in reading the book. I'm interested in seeing the other films in the series.
I guess Dante kind of hated the book. Like
from what I heard, like the plot of the book and the plot of the first movie have nothing to do with each other.
No.
But the plot of the third book is kind of like what's in the movie.
I looked
And
at in my
elements
notes
from other books.
At least according to IMDb, it's the second movie that Brandner wrote. Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
That's what it says.
But
maybe that's not. Maybe
is a werewolf.
Maybe I'm mixed up. Maybe it's 3 or 4 that is most like the book, but it's 2 that the book's author actually wrote. Maybe the one that's most like the book was actually just a different writer using that. I don't know.
Your sister is a werewolf.
I wasn't mixed up
on Howling 2.
Yes, I wasn't mixed up on this before we started, so I didn't look into it.
Howling 3 is just Howling 3, and now I got to
Yeah.
see Howling 4,
Howling
the
4
original
is the-
Nightmare. That's the one that's based more on the original book.
Yes.
I believe.
And
then Howling 5 is the Rebirth, which is kind of a remake of the first one, like a soft requel.
Yeah.
And then Howling 6 is the Freaks, which sounds fun, sounds crazy, sounds weird.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, there's so many Howling movies.
Yeah, I think
There's like 8 of them, dude. Oh my God.
I think we should eventually come back to some of the movies we've done and cover the sequels. We should do we should watch,
absolutely.
because I watch all of these again and I realize that I never pursued the sequels. Or maybe, I probably saw some of the Howling sequels on USA Up All Night or some shit. Like
Yeah.
I probably binge watched 2 or 3 of them at some point when I was 15. But
Right.
who knows? But I don't remember that.
I mean, I've got such a Swiss cheese memory and stuff that's why I started keeping like track of movies on IMDb and like scoring them and stuff, because I literally like I'll see a movie and like that looks cool and then look it up on IMDb and be like, oh, I thought it was mediocre. Apparently, like zero memory of actually seeing it until halfway through the movie. I'll be like, I kind of think I know what happens at the end of this.
Well, this one I didn't remember a lot of the details, but I did remember the serial killer aspect. I remember the transformation. I remembered the first real wolf attack in that cabin with the door exploding and seeing. So I remembered a lot more of this one than I do of some things. But like I'd like to watch the Pumpkinhead sequels just because I love Pumpkinhead so much. But it's also kind of that thing where like with music. One of my all-time favorite albums. Like if I had to pick one album to take to a desert island, it would be Placebo. Without You, I'm Nothing.
Okay.
Because for whatever reason, that one album I can put on at any time. They're not even like, there are bands that have a full discography that I like better than Placebo's.
Yeah.
But that one album I can always listen to and never get tired of.
Right.
For whatever reason, it just hits the right buttons for me.
Sure.
But I liked it so much that for years and years and years, I avoided listening to any other Placebo because I didn't want to risk finding out that it was the only good thing they'd done.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
I didn't want it to be tainted by the rest of their work. And eventually I listened to more of their stuff and I don't like it as much, but I like it. You know?
But it's not your favorite album.
It's not my favorite album. And so sometimes with movies, especially like, I'm directly thinking about Pumpkinhead. Like I love Pumpkinhead so much that I kind of don't want it sullied by shitty sequels.
I dig
But-
that. I dig that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, hey, it just happens though. Some sequels are going to suck.
I mean, I understand that. I dig that vibe, but it's just like, you know, the original's still there. It
Yeah.
doesn't erase the original. I like seeing-
Academically, I know that.
right. No, yeah. It's just like, it's interesting to see where people take things.
Yes, it is.
And what direction they go in. And, you know, sometimes it works out and sometimes it's, you know, dog vomit.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll still watch all the Leprechaun sequels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes
the-
dog vomit is fun.
Yeah, but the first Leprechaun is already like right there in the so bad it's good category. That
The first Leprechaun is not a serious film. No.
no.
Nobody was like, hey, wouldn't it be crazy if?
Yeah.
Like, it's
No,
not
it's
like
goofy as shit beginning to end.
yeah, it's not like Friday the 13th, like Jason X comes out of left field. A little bit.
And
with-
you know what? See, it doesn't make any sense. I love Jason X because it's so
because it's a fun movie. It doesn't matter.
It's so fun.
It doesn't matter that it's different from the other ones. It's the fact that it is a fun movie.
Yeah.
Whereas if you watch Leprechaun and they were like, hey, 3 movies down, it goes to space, you'd be like, yeah, that makes total fucking sense.
I'm here for that. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, like sometimes there are bad sequels and you just you watch them once and you're like, huh.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
then-
Freddy's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Or, you know, you just decide that there are only 3 Indiana Jones movies and that's just how you live. Like, they are. Right there. Right behind Star Wars.
That's all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Every
You
single
have
Indiana Jones movie.
You have all Indiana
I
Jones
have
movies.
all of them.
All 3.
All 3 of them.
Yep. Know them very well.
Yep. And
No,
you know, also it comes into like, I know academically that it doesn't matter. The sequels don't affect the first one, but I think that some of the problem is the overwhelming options when I'm looking for a movie to watch.
Yes.
That is enough reason for me to discount something because I have such paralysis when I'm trying to choose a movie
Yes.
that any factor that I can use to disqualify you
Yes.
is
Yes. Hey, it's you don't have to tell me. Remember, I'm the guy that had that so badly that I just watched Starship Troopers over and over and over again.
yeah.
So to the point where I have seen that movie more than I have seen any other movie in my lifetime. I've literally watched it hundreds of times.
It's a solid choice though.
I maintain that it gives more than you know.
It does. It's a great movie.
It is all things.
Yeah.
That and Caddyshack I watched on infinite repeat.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the DVD version of Caddyshack I had, you could do that if you just like let the credits play. It could recycle back to that wonderful animated menu.
Yeah.
And the animated menu cycled twice, and then the movie just started again. So if my hands were, you know, I was painting, I had paint on my hands are sticky or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Another great movie is
Look,
coming on right now.
The DVD gave you an opportunity to turn it off. And if it's still been
I
sitting there on
declined.
that long, it assumes that you want to watch again.
But like, yeah, no, I understand the analysis paralysis of trying to choose a movie to watch. And like I said, like it's more appealing to see something that, you know, with a Howling sequel or even a Pumpkinhead sequel, it's like, this is probably not going to be great. Whereas there's new stuff out there that I have no attachment
Yeah.
to. That might be great still. Like there's a
Yeah.
potentiality there, you know?
And then you got the rare situation where a sequel's better. I mean, you got fucking
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. I'm thinking Ouija 2. The
Yeah.
first Ouija movie is pretty run of the mill.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
Mike Flanagan comes along and makes Origin of Evil, and it's rad.
It was
man.
pretty rad. It's pretty damn good. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll discover your new favorite and you'll be like, the first Pumpkinhead is garbage.
Yeah. and you nah, I doubt it. But you also you know that once there's so many sequels, it will go off the rails. Like the Hellraisers
Right.
go downhill pretty hard.
Yeah, I
It-
mean, like eventually, you know,
They're
there's only
just
so much
making 'em-
juice you can squeeze out of an orange.
Yeah. But, you know, you got your Leprechauns, your Puppet Masters, the ones that were made to be franchises to
They were
just
made
crank
to-
out cheap
to be
easy
bad.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were made to go directly to video. Like they were never intended to be a
Boy,
summer
howdy
block.
do they ever.
Yeah.
So I am interested in seeing the Howling. We'll have to see about Even covering like a couple of the sequels, like in rapid succession or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like in a single episode, just this like direction of the franchise after this.
Yeah. But right now we have to figure out what we're doing next time.
What we're doing the next time.
Because for some reason we've just completely stopped planning ahead. We got through all of our Halloween. We got through October, and now it's like, so what's next?
Giving a damn.
We planned that first like 10 episodes real good. No.
Well, this next episode, because this is the second one in November, I believe. So the next episode is going to be the first one in December, is it not? So
yeah,
let us see. Oh man.
Well, what vibe are we going for? We just did early 80s werewolf.
This is a good question. What about sci-fi horror?
Okay, yeah.
You know, that's a pretty big U-turn.
I'm into it. Yeah, I love sci-fi horror. I think it's weird when people don't like sci-fi horror. I don't get it.
I don't get it at all.
So what are our contenders here? We already did Event Horizon.
We did do Event Horizon. Okay. My highest rated sci-fi movies. We already did Killer Clowns.
You know, it's funny. I don't even think of that one as sci-fi horror. It obviously is. It's aliens.
I mean, it is expressly sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
The Void falls on that list too for some reason. I don't think that's fair.
No, I don't think so. That's Lovecraftian. Like, it's not...
that's Lovecraftian is fantasy, right? Like,
yeah.
I guess extra dimensional entities or whatever. Oh, do you know what we watched the other day was From Beyond?
I'd like to see that again.
Do you want to do From Beyond next? I will watch that shit again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
True Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah. No, I'm into that 100%.
Sweet. From Beyond.
Okay, From Beyond.
We are doing From Beyond with
Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs. I love Jeffrey Combs. It's the movie that's the Lovecraft movie that he's
and
in
Barbara
that is
Crampton,
not Reanimator.
Right? Yeah.
Barbara Crampton.
Yeah.
It's got a solid cast. It really does have a solid cast.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
And it's Stuart Gordon.
Yes.
Who also did Reanimator. I mean,
it's kind of the spiritual sequel to Reanimator.
It is. No, I'm excited because I haven't watched that in a long time.
It's really good.
I'm all about the Lovecraftian, like
Ken Foree's in it.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be great. I'm excited. Good choice. I'll edit it down so it seems like we made this decision much quicker.
Yes. Next time we are doing
From Beyond.
From Beyond. Woo! Can't wait. Leave all of that in. Leave all of it in.
All of it. I'm gonna stop editing anything. I'm just gonna hit publish. You just get what you get from us.
That's right. This is what you're here for. This is the good stuff. This is the gold. Anyway, I have been Joe.
I've been Chris.
And this has been In the Veins.
It sure has. We'll see you next time.
There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine.
Be surprised at the things you find when you go looking.
God, it knows I'm here.
Clear your minds. It knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
Plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated Book of the Dead.
You're gonna die up there.
We've got to return some videotapes.